And at the top left, round of 4 Protoss.
Brave Stars Gaming, Hurricane.
On Brave Star.
Brave Stars.
Brave Stars.
Not just a single one.
And in the bottom right, Splice Protoss.
Splice Stats.
Right.
One of the most dominant Protosses of all time, I would say.
Oh, absolutely. He's like, he's not quite there right now, but I feel like he was getting pretty close to a place where we could call him like the GOAT Protoss, but not quite, not quite.
Kind of reminds me of like a Snoot, you know? Like Snoot over even a long enough period of time, you know, you're like, that guy was extremely dominant.
Yeah, actually, I looked it up a few years ago, and the most impressive pro gamers in terms of length of career and quality of performance, when I looked this up, and again, this was a while ago when Snoot was still playing at the top of his game. It was like Snoot and Innovation were head and shoulders above everyone else.
That's really interesting.
Now again, this was a while ago, but like, yeah, they kept it up for longer than anybody basically at the top level.
When you go back and watch Innovation games, that would be such an interesting episode. Of in-depth. If we went back and watched games of players developing over, like, because there's so many players that have developed so incredibly differently from when they were originally, or so incredibly, like, similar, you know?
Yeah.
It's very interesting to see development in players from back then, because the game is so old now. Like, we can go back and watch VODs of players from 7-8 years ago.
Yeah, there's active players right now that play very well that you absolutely can do that for.
Yeah, that would be really interesting. I feel like there should be more people doing that.
Well, I think that there's a lot of interesting things you can do with that. Even just the development of styles over time and things like that.
Yeah. So double Stalker and a Stargate. Double Depth.
And over on stat side, he did get the Sentry, so he will be able to get that that Scout off.
Yeah.
See that the Stargate is coming in.
Doesn't really help too much for Stargate, though. I feel.
Well, I guess
because you kind of have to react to it anyway. Like, for example, let's say you scout the Stargate, you're like, okay, I'm building a shield battery or something. Like, if they wait for 2 oracles, you still need to have a certain amount of units at home. And you're forced to open Sentry, so you don't really have a tech that's kind of mirrored with it.
Yeah.
So Stargate kind of feels fine if you go for Hallucination. Again,
yeah,
at least you know you're not just gonna. It's not just gonna one oracle's not gonna fly in and kill you, but at the same time, you probably prepare for it either way if you didn't go for the scout.
Yeah. Well, I think it's completely fine for Hurricane, but this is kind of stats-esque anyways, right? He wants to see what's going on. He wants to be able to get in that
How do you respond?
Well, actually, with exactly what he just did, which was a Forge. He actually did it before he scouted it. He threw down that Forge, I think, the second that he saw the Nexus. But in my opinion, and I think that this has been the case in PvP for years and years and years, basically, the second you know that you're not about to die, get upgrades.
Get a Forge, yeah.
Yeah, it's like attack upgrades are so important in this matchup. If you have +1, your opponent doesn't, or +2,
right?
My God, it
this
changes
matchup
everything.
Incredibly too, because the timing attacks on this matchup are so crisp.
Yeah.
You can hit a +2 timing, and your army is just so much more efficient. Tickle beams going off there.
Yeah. Pushes that back rather easily.
Do you think there's any way that Hurricane can abuse the fact that a Forge and Robo are thrown down? Because he did go Twilight first. There's no Forge on the way.
Well, to be honest, like, I think when you see something like this, first off, you need your own Forge. With what he just scouted, the fact that he even has the Robo on the way, it's like, I think it's okay, but not optimal. I wouldn't mind him throwing down a 3rd Nexus. To be honest, with this map, with the tech roots that we're seeing, like, no one can really do anything to each other.
Yeah, well, the reason why I'm asking is because we see Charge, we see Robo, we don't see a Forge. We don't see a Forge.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So this makes me feel like he wants to do a timing. I don't know if there is one there, though.
Yeah, no, the thing is, if you try to put together a timing as Hurricane, you're going to hit when +1's finishing for stats. So it's just, it'll be an anti-timing, you know what I mean?
Yeah. The Forge is throwing down now, but like +1 is halfway done already.
Yeah.
So I guess Hurricane's going to have to be passive almost this entire game now.
Yeah, I would say so.
You can never really attack into someone who has +1, and you don't really want to, ever, so...
This map's hard for it as well. Going up that ramp, that is not something you really want to find yourself doing. Like, I mean, maybe there's like a Prism harassment move that he wants to make. He is making that Prism. I mean, it kind of makes sense. If your opponent doesn't have Stargate and doesn't have Blink, Immortal drops are like the greatest thing in the whole world.
Yeah. I mean, it's good. I don't know what to say there. I'm just trying to think. So that's why my commentary sounds a little weird, because I'm just trying to contemplate how you play this out with such a far disadvantage +1. Taking a third is interesting.
Well, I think he should have taken this third a while ago.
Yeah.
Like, that's something that I've been seeing tonight, where it's like, oh, I think that instantaneously doing things are going to
help you
be really nice for you, right? Because, like, look, his gates are about to finish, and it seems like he's about to make a third Nexus. Let's see if he actually does.
Is he, though? 4 gates +1. The third base is going down for stats.
Yeah, which again, I think that this is not a bad call either.
No, this is good for stats. I feel like the third base should have been faster, so that he can try and cut some of these corners and get back even.
Yeah, you see that Nexus? Like, the thing is, there was no actual attack timing on either side, and I think that the first time you don't see an attack timing, get a Forge. The second time you don't see an attack timing, get a Nexus. You know? Like,
Sure.
if there's just nothing that can really come.
What do you think about this attack from Hurricane?
I don't think it can work.
This is not Stats' whole army, is it?
No. It's bringing it all down now. Right? That can't work.
No, it can't.
Maybe he can get the third Nexus.
Oh, wait. This is nice, though. Wait, Stats saw that, right? I have to imagine Stats saw that.
he sees the Stasis Ward, so he can just walk up and kill that. He can just walk
go
over
in
now.
and recall it after killing the third?
Yeah, I think that's the plan. I'm surprised he
this is
just cancels.
Strange commitment.
Yeah, well, once you cancel the
oh.
Nexus, you don't go chase the army again,
Can he
right?
hit timing with +1? Like, okay, never mind. Recall. I like the recall.
Yeah, no, the recall is very good. I think that Hurricane executed that pretty well.
Oh yeah. And now that his third's up too, it feels good.
Yeah.
The only thing, Stats could possibly hit a +2 timing, but it doesn't feel like that would be.
If you concave the top of your ramp, you're not.
Yeah, right. It doesn't feel like it would be a good play, and I don't think Stats would ever make that play either. So if you're Hurricane, you can actually get away with even more greed now.
Yeah.
In theory, like, you could basically do whatever you want.
Well, I think that what he needs to do right now is just really focus on getting his Immortals out. Get as close as you can in Immortal count to Stats, because that's where things go wrong in PvP so often in the late game.
What are the Immortal counts right now? You know?
I believe that 3 for Stats, and this is Hurricane's first that just popped, I believe.
Whenever I play PvP, I find my Immortal count matters less and less as the game goes on, though. Because once the Charged Out Archon fights happen, the Immortals really don't do anything. This is, by the way, how I feel. Like, once the Charged Out Archon fight goes one way or the other, the Immortal count's just irrelevant. So, like, if you have a ton more Charged Out Archon...
Yeah, no, if you have a ton more, for sure, but in any close battle, I mean, the Immortal beats everything that Protoss has.
Yeah, well, like, watch the Immortals. Right now they're fighting a bunch of Zealots. This Archon Zealot flank from the back. What?
God.
That was such a sick play. Look at his army just gets absolutely dominated.
Yeah.
That was incredible.
Beautifully
I didn't even
done
see that
right
coming.
there.
The Stats is just like, what?
Yeah.
I think Stats is confused right now.
I'm so confused as to
Stats had
what he was.
+2, right?
Yeah, no, he did have +2 there.
Okay, so like I was saying, Zealot Archon does really well against Immortals.
Well, yes, it can in situations like this, but when you have two armies that are very close in size and power, then the one with the more Immortals is very oftentimes the one that's going to be able to win. But GG, I think that was a very peculiar move out by Stats, right?
Yeah, but
the
at
Immortal
the same time,
production,
you have +2, you have more Immortals.
Yes, but you have to hit a critical mass against someone who's focusing on Charge Law Archon, because when you hit the critical mass with the higher upgrades and the higher Immortal count, that critical mass really screws over the gateway-based
I don't think Stats ever planned to fight.
Yeah, no, I don't
I think Stats was like, wait, what? You're attacking me? You have like no Archons, no Zealots, no. Why are you attacking me? And then that flank came in, and he's like, what?
I think his plan was to walk across the map and like sit there and see what he can do, right?
You know, like see what's going on.
Maybe his Prism flies in. Not sure exactly.
Like even we weren't 100% sure. Like that fight felt really weird at the beginning, right?
It caught me off guard because I was not expecting it at all. That fight.
Right. You're down an upgrade. Why fight? You have a third that's faster. Why fight? You have less Immortals. Why fight?
I think that what Hurricane did there made a lot of sense, because if you are down in Immortals and you have a situation like that, you want to fight on open ground with your gateway units and trade as much as possible, because again, the Immortal user has to hit a critical mass to beat the gateway user.
Right.
So I think that for Hurricane, it was a good move.
Oh, definitely. We'll have to see if he can do more good moves.
Good moves. Good moves, StarCraft.
Finding himself up 1-0 against Stats.
Brave Stars Gaming, Hurricane.
This man's gonna have to bring it back if he wants any shot here.
Splice, Stats.
I'm so interested in this rest of this PvP.
Yeah, that was a really interesting first game. You know, I was definitely critical of Hurricane, but you know, I guess the attack that got rid of the third Nexus, I felt like Stats could have contested that more, and maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he couldn't have contested it more, but it felt like when he got rid of the Stasis Ward, he could have put some pressure in there because, you know, that army was not that scary with the Immortals that he had. The army was not that big. It did not feel to me like Hurricane had any right to do that. It was very well executed tactically by Hurricane, so I give mad props for that.
Right.
It's just I feel like Stats could have interfered more with that.
It felt like that Stasis Ward should have never happened. Ever.
And even when it did, he got an Observer over there quickly, but stalled on taking it out and stalled on going towards his third.
Once the Stasis Ward finished, it felt like Hurricane was in a great position. Like he even if buying enough time to kill that third, because the Zealots were already on that third, but that didn't feel like that Stasis Ward should have even been there.
Yeah,
it should have been immediately shot down, and then the army should have immediately engaged. Because first off, he's up an upgrade. He's siphoned away Zealots from his army.
Yes.
Like, there's no reason we don't engage immediately. We have a bigger army. We have a better upgrade.
Exactly.
Our, you know, Hurricane's split, so Hurricane has to either pull away from that Nexus and bring the Zealots into the fight, and you save your third, or Hurricane has to commit to the third, and you catch units, you know, retreating.
Yes. And then the recall can't happen as much if you're starting to win that battle.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's kind of the way that I look at it there, and why I felt a little bit critical towards Hurricane for moving. But the thing is, to pull that move off is, I mean, that was very strong by Hurricane. He made these moves that kind of made
Very
Stats
decisive.
unsure. Yeah, and a lot of times it's not about the right decisions, but making decisive decisions and executing them well, right? And that's what we saw there. Like, Hurricane did play really, really well that game.
This series so far has felt like Stats has played a multitude of games. Actually, when he looked the best, okay, by the way, this is really bad for Hurricane.
Huge.
Really bad. Yeah. Big
What a
mistake
pick.
there.
Wow.
When Stats is super decisive, his games look sick, but so far we've seen a lot of hesitation from him.
Yeah.
And sometimes decisiveness when he shouldn't be decisive. Like,
You know, it might have to do with just how successful he's been and how strong he's been and how when you win that much and you really are the best Protoss in the world, right? And then you start doing poorly in a few tournaments, right? And suddenly we're in this situation where it's like, is Stats going to BlizzCon? Right, the BlizzCon finalist, the GSL versus World finalist, the two-time GSL finalist, the I Am Katowice finalist, like all these things. Well, yeah, he might be looking at it and just trying to be like, okay, well, the game can go on because I'm good at late game and I'm good at surviving, but everyone just continues to improve so much. So, like, you have to be ready to lose a StarCraft game to win a StarCraft
Look at
game,
this move, by the way.
right? It's important, and I don't feel like we're seeing that from Stats. I feel like if there's any chance things will go wrong, like we saw with that third base, you know, he skips it, and it's like, oh, are you supposed to skip it?
Nice force fields. I don't know if that's actually a good or bad thing.
Well,
I mean, 2 probes go down. He lost all of his energy, though. I don't know. Trades are fine, I guess. 32 workers to 29. What do we see tech-wise? Twilight, there's +1 already on the way for Stats.
now Hurricane actually going into Immortals here. No Forge. Stats does have that Forge up.
We saw him delay his Forge last game, and it looked fine, despite our criticism.
Well, Hurricane did.
Hurricane, yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah. So,
but he's actually the Immortal player this time.
Yeah.
Which makes it kind of funny because, like, if you're delaying upgrades and getting the Immortals, I feel like when you're going to be the Immortal guy, you're really the guy that wants to get +2 as well, right?
Yeah. Well, because if you're the Immortal guy, you're the chill guy.
Oh,
you're chilling.
I see what he is. He's the Glaives guy.
He's the Glaive guy?
Yeah.
The Glaive guys.
The Glaive guy doesn't need +1. The Glaive guy is going to come and kill you.
The Glaive guys are scary.
Yeah.
In all matchups.
In all matchups, that's very true. if you're willing to just go ahead and go Glaives.
What are you not willing to do at that point?
Yeah.
Well, the interesting. Okay, wait.
Yeah, Hurricane will do any build if you give him enough money.
So, Twilight is quite late for stats, and Glaive, he might actually have a pretty cool timing here.
Yeah,
Before, Before any Twilight upgrade could ever be finished. The only thing is he's going to attack into +1, but at the same time we saw how much Hurricane cared about +1 last game. So.
Yeah, no, he doesn't care about the +1 here at all. Like, what he cares about is he's going to get across the map and see if he can just wreck him.
Does he have an immortal? If he has an immortal advantage and a ton of glaive to depths, this is going to be really scary. I'm just curious if Stats is already aware of this fully, because I don't think you can be. At least not yet.
He definitely isn't. If he realized what was walking across the map at him right now, I feel like he'd be putting a lot of shield batteries.
There's no way you start +2, right?
Well, you need something to win when you... Yeah, no, I guess if you hold, you just win.
Right.
So
if you hold, you have one.
You could probably skip +2. You could probably skip...
Okay, that's the right response.
There you go. Yeah, he's kind of figured out what's up.
The only scare... Does he have a probe at the top of the ramp, too? If he has a probe at the top of the ramp, this is basically held.
He has to, because it's Glaives.
Yeah, if these depths get in the main or something, that's obviously really, really bad.
Yeah, well, he's got to be a little bit afraid of the Prism as well, because... I feel like it's not just the shading here. Like, if you just drop a couple up there, it gets difficult as well.
If you build a bunch of cannons and shield batteries, I really like +2.
Yeah. Well, he did start +2.
Oh,
and he made the cannons and shield batteries.
Oh, okay, this is really bad. Oh, if that force field was just... If those sentries were just a little bit closer, this game would be totally different.
Oh,
is he going to be punished by that?
I feel like he needs a recall. Maze here, come on, get up there.
Oh, he's going to get +2. Okay.
Oh, look at this engagement right at the ramp. Oh my god.
This is so good for Hurricane. I can't believe this even happened,
Hurricane's playing so well. Well, that attack up the ramp
Immortal,
is not that good.
The Immortal's doing literally nothing. Okay.
Yeah, Glaive's on top of everything. His Immortal's doing some real work. He needs to juggle that one back, though. He's about to lose one.
What do you even do when these adepts are in here? If he can get any of these production facilities, too, this game is going to spiral out of control.
Oh, my God.
So many stalkers. Oh, the prism goes down! Oh, okay. This whole thing just got shut down, I think.
Yeah, it's over. Okay, look at that probe count. Look at that probe count with +2. He's going to finish.
Okay, here comes. These plays are so important. If he can kill literally every mineral probe mine here, this might be it.
No, I think Stats has the advantage here for sure.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
He's got it. Like, I mean, you can't do any sort of base trade. Look at that natural. That natural never dies. You need 10 Tempests to kill that natural.
Here's the only thing, though. You can't move out if your Stats, right? You can't.
In a minute, you can.
Can you, though?
Yeah.
Like, 4 adepts in your main would be devastating. And we saw
throw a cannon down. I don't know. Just
Dark Shrine. What do you Dark Shrine?
The Dark Shrine is kind of funny, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, that's desperation. There's nothing else that is.
Yeah. Well, he needs every opportunity he can possibly get here to win this game.
I like the Dark Shrine.
Look at that. Dark Shrine and Disruptors?
Okay.
Dark Shrine and Disruptors? One or the other. They're both good comeback mechanics for PvP. They're like good comeback strategies.
Both?
Because you can't afford both.
Why not both?
Is he going to be sitting in his natural with a Zealot and a shield battery while he makes a Disruptor and a DT? Like, is that all he's going to have?
5 probes go down. I think there's 2 adepts in the main, too.
Is there?
Okay, no, they got cleaned up.
I can't believe he's going Disruptors and Dark Shrine.
I like it. I like it.
This is like SOS or something stuff, right?
This might be, yeah.
We need a Fleet Beacon, too. Let's do the Fleet Beacon, too.
Yeah, he could, I guess. Does he even have a Stargate? I think he does.
Oh, I'm surprised he's throwing a Forge down.
Oh, this Archon.
He's doing like too many things at once, I think.
Look at this Sentry taking on Archons. 36. The probe count's pretty even. +3 is started, by the way.
That's funny.
We're going to have +3 Protoss versus +1 Protoss, or +0. Which one is better? That's the question.
The one with Disruptors.
Yeah. Yeah, Disruptors don't really care
about You can't hit what you can't see, no regret.
Wait, we haven't observed. Okay, yeah. Whew. Could you imagine what a robbery that would be if he just, like, snipes the pylon that's powering the robo? And then the game just ends?
You're seeing a lot of robberies today.
I mean, okay, wait. If Hurricane wins this game, that is 100% a robbery.
I mean, I feel like Stats should have moved out by now.
No, he can't. We already talked about this.
Yeah, we did talk about it. I believe we are disagreeing. So we can't disagree. It is not just sealed and done.
One of us has to be wrong. And I'm not
Yeah.
wrong.
You're not wrong.
It's because Stats is doing what I'm doing, what
my
I
God.
said. Me and
No,
Stats
no, no.
disagree with you right now.
Okay, well, the fact that he's getting +3, I think, means that he does disagree with me. But
Yeah, both Stats and I
when you
disagree.
do an Adept all-in, you lose every single unit you have.
Mhm.
Should eventually counterattack.
Yeah, the
against
problem is
that. What?
you-
What's the problem? Tell me.
Adepts
I'm
can
waiting to hear
kill
it.
all
What's
your
the problem?
workers. And
Well,
you
that's
can't
why you
move
make
out.
the cannons.
Yeah, look at how good these cannons are. He's still got 3 probes.
Yeah, it's only 3 probes. You're losing 2 depths. How many units does he have at home? Look at the supply of Hurricane, 34.
He's gonna have
34.
Disruptors are infinite
He
supply.
can't
we
win
know
a
this
base
already.
trade.
Look, he's doing the stats. He's doing the counter stats.
Oh my God.
How are you gonna break disruptors when you have cannons?
Stargates. Look at this.
Wait,
Go
where?
Phoenixes, of course.
Oh,
Do you remember that meta? When it was
Yeah.
Phoenixes lifting disruptors for days?
if Hurricane attacks, he's actually insane.
You can't attack as Hurricane.
I know.
You cannot.
I mean, all
I
I'm
guess
saying is
you
I
can
see.
poke disruptor balls very slowly into your opponent, and that's it.
All I'm saying is I see 3 disruptors walking across the map,
Yeah.
and he doesn't have. It's +3 is finished now. I'm pretty sure one well-placed Archon could kill this entire army from stats. Oh, that's a nice force field. Okay, that has to be.
No, he's all right.
Is he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's fine.
Just
You're
juggles
right.
everything back. Yeah. The disruptors are just, they're killer here. He doesn't have the counter to them.
Not yet. First Phoenix is on the way.
Yeah. Soon he will.
Oh! Okay.
I feel like I just stepped into the ocean, you know?
Yeah.
So,
Ooh,
it's
sure.
cold, it's cold, it's cold, it's cold.
What are we even watching? Okay. That would have been embarrassing.
Look at that.
Is this
that
where you just, like-
concave. Look at this concave he's fighting against right now. Oh my God! He brought the disruption ball back and hit his own army with it.
Yeah, why not? At
We
this
just
point-
saw that.
At this point, why not? He's getting blinked too.
Hold on, wait, Jake. I don't know Cyberforce well enough. Is there a smaller choke up a hill that he could attack through?
No,
Is there
isn't.
somewhere? Is there a smaller choke up a hill?
This is the smallest choke in the game.
Maybe there is. Wait, is there a similar sized choke
Nope.
with 2 hills to go up?
Wait. Oh no.
Maybe
I don't think
stats could be sitting in shrubs at the top of the hill, or
I don't think there's a single map that has a weirder choke / double.
I was
ramp thing ever.
just checking because
Yeah.
I thought maybe there was a different move for Hurricane there.
Well, yeah. Okay. This is Hurricane's
Now,
move.
see, this is what I was talking about, where there would be a base trade, and all these cannons should slow him down enough, right?
What if he kills all the cannons?
Wins the DT tech.
Yes.
Stats does have 2 observers, so
He can kill those.
yeah. Well, no, Stats has Phoenixes, man.
He can kill those.
Oh my God, the base trade is real.
I love like Hurricane is so dirty. Like this is the
I
dirtiest.
love it. I love how
this
dirty
is the
he is
dirtiest PvP. Wait,
Okay, what is happening here?
is there any
needs
way?
to do the
if
recall.
Stats recalls. Is there any way he loses?
Perfect
wait,
disruptors.
Wait,
Perfect disruptors.
wait,
Let's do it. Let's
Shoot the
see
disruptors.
it.
Shoot the balls. Shoot the balls.
Do it! What? Those were the worst disruptor balls I've ever seen.
Wait, his army looks so much bigger. Am I missing something?
Half of his army didn't get recalled. He's walking
Are
across
you
the map
serious?
right now.
You recalled
He
half
needs to
your
jump
army?
on top of this. He actually even clumped up. I don't even know how that missed.
I think you just shade forward.
Yeah, he should be jumping on this. This is his chance to eliminate half the army and then kill the other half.
Oh, but there's Phoenixes are here, I guess.
He does have Phoenixes, yes. But the rest of the army is about to be here, so he needed to fight even before this army got here at all.
Yeah, I mean Stats cleans it up, but
Yeah, Stats was always going to be able to win that, I think.
a
But
little bit
like
of dancing there.
Hurricane, you know, 0 of 55 supply at the end of that game, by the way. Very rarely do you see 0 supply when they GG, but in this case. So Hurricane,
How do you even dissect that game?
I don't know. I don't know.
We've been given tough games, man.
That's fun.
I'd
though.
like to say
imagine
we're-
if these games were just stock standard. We would be so bored right now.
I'd like to say we're StarCraft connoisseurs at this point, right?
I would
This
say
is some hard
so, yeah.
StarCraft to.
Yeah, no.
connoisseur.
This today has some nutty undertones. Is the
Yeah.
way that we would say this,
Yeah,
right?
it's nutty undertones. That's
It
good.
has nutty undertones.
I need to get your dictionary. I need more words.
Yeah.
But like every game so far, besides the Scarlet series, which was kind of weird but not really, has been insane. Like the Cure Stats games were insane too.
This is a crazy day.
I mean, I'm so happy that we get to cast this.
I know. I'm having a great time.
I'd be so sad. I'd be in Twitch chat right now casting it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, oh wow, this is crazy. They're like, wow, it's no regret,
He
Pop
builds
Champ.
circlings. You know what my favorite thing is when Twitch chat checks my MMR and it's like 6'3", and everybody's like, "Oh my god, he's so good."
Circling bus will get you far in this world. King's Cove is our third map. Let's get into it.
In the top left-hand corner.
Brave Stars Gaming, Hurricane.
I love his play today.
Yeah.
I love his play today. He's really becoming a good player.
He was pretty desperate last game.
Yeah.
The wall himself.
Splice.
deflector.
Stats.
The shield of ire.
Yeah, no. Like, that last game was a great example of a true shield of ire there.
Yeah, yeah.
He was just blocking things left and right.
He had the shield batteries of ire that game. That was awesome, though.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
I feel like if I'm Hurricane, I'm in a pretty okay spot right now. Like,
Yeah, you should feel fine.
like that last game, he had to have known there was opportunity, and after a certain point, he was obviously just playing the game of comebacks and like, how can I win and blah blah blah. DT, both disruptor, DT, whatever. But
Well, that was, at that point,
that
he was
point-
just praying that Stats wouldn't attack him, and you and Stats were like, yeah, we shouldn't attack him.
yeah,
He's
you
only
were
going
like,
DT
we should
disrupt at the
attack
same
into
time with no
disruptor
army.
DT. in Glaives.
Like 9 minutes before he has it.
And how do you beat +3 in the long run? Huh? Stats and I are both
This
late
run.
game players, late game connoisseurs.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
And Hurricane was on your guys' team attacking through that little choke up that hill.
I like this pylon. You know, it'd be sick if he doesn't do anything with it at all. Like, he just goes stalker, and then goes Nexus, you know? Because you, especially if the probe goes, because the probe was kind of slow, but if the probe
It's
went
not
in,
even scouting, right? Like, where's Hurricane's probe?
no, he doesn't care. What is Stats doing?
He's looking for proxies, I think. And the fact that that probe came out like that,
Yeah.
now you scout it.
Is he just going to miss it?
What up, Hurricane?
Okay, he's got it.
We see you, Hurricane.
Hurricane doesn't know yet, but I think he has to know it's possible that that was scouted.
Oh, he knows that was scouted. You saw the probe go past his probe.
You're right.
Maybe you and Stats think not, but I mean, yeah.
Yeah. Well, okay, so what do you think about building your Stargate here?
It's fine. Oh, he canceled.
Oh,
Look
wait.
at that.
Wait, he
Bit
canceled
of
the Stargate?
sneakiness. Robo on both sides. Oh, Robo 3 gate for Stats. Isn't that cute?
Are we not going to why did we build a pylon there, by the way? Is this like a fake proxy pylon?
For Stats?
Yeah.
Yeah, in case the probe actually scouts him at any point.
So they both went for their fake proxy pylons. Kinda.
Yeah. Well, Hurricane's only turned into a fake, but
Well, Hurricane's proxy was not a real proxy anyways.
but
Like, it's not a closer, you know?
yeah.
It's actually like a hidden kind of thing.
If that was in his main and scouted, do you think he cancels into the Robo?
Maybe not.
Because the interesting thing that I find is, right, so
Oh.
I've had discussions with some Europeans about this, whether Stargate counters 3-gate Robo or not.
Uh-huh.
And the Koreans, I
think it
quite
does.
certain, think that it is pretty even overall. Because Stats scouted the Stargate and immediately went 3-gate Robo, right?
Yeah. I mean, I think it depends on...
I don't think the Stargate's bad against it. I don't think that, but like I think that the 3-gate Robo is completely playable against it.
Oh, this feels bad. Losing 2 dubs here for free. He already doesn't have a great army to like lose here.
Ooh, good micro by Stats.
Yeah, this is scary. I actually really like that he went for the Robo instead. Because I think with the Robo, he can actually defend. I think Stats wanted to be aggressive with his 3-gate Robo too. So it feels good if you can get a couple of Immortals out and play the defensive game. The only thing is, at best case, it's even, right?
Yeah.
That's unless Stats really messes up.
Well, it's basically mirrors right now, so.
Yeah, but the way Stats is posturing feels more aggressive. Okay, I like the recall. I'd take the Nexus immediately now if I was Stats.
Yeah.
It looks like he's going to. 400 minerals.
Yeah, hold on. The Prism's coming in right now.
What was that? What was that? Was that your Prism sound? Is that what Prism should
That
make
was
when it floats around?
Oh, here it comes.
I'm a little surprised they don't just take next side. Stargate. What?
I guess just to force the Prism back, right?
Yeah.
It can't be for anything else.
That is one of the only options, unless you go double Oracle and hide it for like a long period of time.
Yeah, that would be really weird.
If he did it and got it off, though, it could be so good.
You know, actually, I know what it is.
What?
I know what it is, yeah.
What?
What he's going to do, so you get the Phoenix, because these two builds against each other turn into Immortal drops on both sides that are really dirty.
Right.
Because you have no real way to stop it.
And
so
you
if you
have to,
get
like,
a Phoenix
respect it.
and go Immortal drops,
Then
your opponent can't do the Immortal drops.
Yeah.
And he can't really do too much against the Immortal drops because he doesn't have...
All he sacrifices is his third, or his natural timing, too.
Yeah.
Which he can make back in the Immortal drops.
No,
So.
this is actually... I really like this from Hurricane. This is a very clever move.
It's really smart, yeah. Like, he's clearly thought a lot about this.
Yeah.
This feels like a very natural decision by him. Oh, okay. If Stats picks up on this and goes for our timing, I don't know if he can do anything, though. There's already Immortals.
He can't break the ramp. He cannot break the ramp. But he can... Like, this is very annoying to fight against.
Is there a Prism on the other side of the map somewhere for Hurricane?
There will be.
Right here it comes.
Yeah, see? Here it goes.
Oh my god, that is a massive
Now,
army.
if Stats goes up, he has to turn the Prism around, I think.
Yeah, he does have a recall, right?
Yeah, Stats is the only one that used to recall this game.
Yeah, okay, so as long as Hurricane saves his recall, I like the play because, honestly, this is really scary if Stats commits here. Did Stats scout the Immortal leaving or the Robo work with him? Because it feels like he's respecting
He did not see it. He did, but his Phoenix flew in and saw like very little, so I think he just knows what's up. His hallucinating side is
28 workers to 23.
By the way, what do you think about going directly into Disruptor?
I think that he's desperate.
I think that,
but it's good. It's a good move. Don't get me wrong.
I'm a little bit confused overall about the build because it's like Immortal drops, Phoenix's Disruptor, unless this is just like he wants Prism speed as well, maybe.
Nah, I think he thinks in this position he's behind in substance, like ground army substance.
Yeah, so
and
just uses Disruptor.
Yeah, because he went Stargate, he's less Immortals, less ground army. But the way to recover that is by having a good Disruptor shot, or having the respect your Disruptor count. Especially when we're going Phoenixes, because we're actually committing to more and more Phoenixes.
Yeah. The thing is that this becomes so flimsy now.
Oh,
his
100%.
army is so hilariously flimsy. Like, I think that he has to sit up his ramp on shield batteries, basically. Like, that's it. Like, he has to turtle for a long time.
Yeah, you already see a couple of, or at least
one
shield battery on the way, which means he's probably going into this. I don't think that's a bad play, though, considering his circumstances and like where he's been this entire game.
I think that he's making the right decisions to go along with a lot of this.
He might have a play here.
Okay, well.
Yeah, not quite.
Yeah, Blink's finishing too, so that's a good recall.
Yeah, it feels like Stats is in a pretty commanding position right now, but one Disruptor shot could change this game.
Yeah, well, I think he has the advantage, but I think that it's definitely not over.
Like, if he just blinks on top.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, look at that. Look at that. Oh, both Immortals go down.
Where's the Prism?
Disruptor is dead. I think the game just might end. Okay, Phoenixes are added. I mean, even if this game doesn't end here, that was a great trade.
Yeah.
Picking up 4. Immortals are being added to the fight. This Warpin, actually not terrible so far. It's a really hard fight to call.
Yeah.
Okay, now it's going really bad.
I think Stats has done it at this point.
Yeah. I mean, even if somehow Hurricane could push this back, he just lost all of his Robo units.
Yeah. That's too bad. He was like a little bit out of position for that really aggressive move from Stats.
What did you think about that blink? Because I thought it was good immediately, but it sounded like you wanted to hesitate on it.
Yeah.